Scorpio. This is your reading for the full moon in Virgo. Take what resonates and leave what doesn't. Thank you for joining me, and let's see, check out the collective reading. It's up there. Any titles of other astro signs that stand out for you, check it out too. So let's just have a look. We're looking at a time I do think of or feel more of a kind of sobering moment where any intentions we may have had at that new moon time, we're just tweaking a little bit and altering. Now I say that because of that feeling of that time, this time, but also, because Virgo is about improving something, trying to perfect something. And it does feel that it's a time of maybe a little course shift or just changing a few things around that, and saying that we have the Two of Discs coming out. This is called change. It's about change. It's about tension that we keep in balance, trying to keep things in balance. And there's a lot of stuff going on around us, Scorpio. And we'll just get a couple more cards. We go through and clarify with a few more decks. Morgan Greer, Brian Froud, Pixie Fairy Oracle, and Willowcombe Kranz, Animal Spirit. So we're getting the great transformative card of death coming up a lot in these readings. We are kind of experiencing that collectively, I guess. But anyway, Scorpio, this is your reading. So we've got the Eight of Cups. We've got a level of objectivity around whatever our situation is at this time. There's a really effective, an effective way of creating a buffer zone in some ways. I see this sometimes in the Eight of Cups. We need to do that sometimes to create that zone around us in order to be able to just focus and get on with what we want to do. Because there's a lot of, currently, if you're talking media, just general speed of everything at the moment, there's a lot of sort of distraction. You could say like free radicals flying around. So to create that little emotional buffer zone is quite helpful. We then have the card of transformation. So letting something go and kind of coming into more of an experimental state of mind. It's sort of quite, I was going to say it's quite out there. It's fiery and it's very youthful. And there might be for you Scorpios out there a level of lightness in this Page of Wands, whether this is you was kind of using those aspects of that are part of you, rediscovering something here, or whether it's someone in your life, but this is part of this process. So you're looking at change, keeping a balance here. We've got a level of objectivity. We're going through some big changes and we want to be a little bit more experimental. So let's go through and we'll clarify. We'll clarify for Scorpio at this full moon time. Change. Yeah, this could be someone in or coming into your life. We've got this wonderful gift of the Ace of Cups heralding in a really nice, a pretty amazing time of a real expansion in this heart zone. I do see that for some, that having that, even though it sounds paradoxical, but having a level of emotional objectivity is allowing you to, in fact, express that part of yourself a lot more. You create a distance. It gives you a level of freedom. Let's look at this Eight of Cups. Yeah. Three of Cups, celebrating family, friends, enjoying other people, enjoying that celebratory give and take, occasions, whatever it is. It's all quite full emotionally, life, that is, for you Scorpios at the moment. Let's look at this transformation with the Death card. I think there's I think there's potential at the moment collectively for some sort of mass collective process of healing. And I won't go into all because if you're looking at readings, readers, astrology, all of that sort of stuff on YouTube at the moment, you'll see there's a lot of ancestral things coming up about ancestral healing. We're looking at epigenetics, all of that sort of stuff, and relating it back to, okay, so what are we're entering some quite deep realms here, whether we're consciously aware of it or whether we're not. It seems to be coming up. And I think towards the end of last year, I'll say this, Scorpio, for you Scorpios, at the end of last year, there was for a period of time, a great feeling of this idea that ancestors or ancestral knowledge, now whether that's cellular memory or whatever it is for you, was asking to be honoured, to be recognised and released. And it seems to be sort of, that is a current thing that you'll see a lot of people dealing with, past trauma, all of that sort of stuff is connected up with that ancestral line. Now I say that because we're looking at death, transformation here. We get the Five of Discs, which is coming up a lot in these readings for the full moon in Virgo. Five of Discs, we're seeing, a lack mentality. We don't want to stay out in the cold anymore. We want to be in the warm. Having a cucumber sandwich or something. We want to be your bowl of soup. We want to be partaking. We want to not choose lack as a default. We understand a level of this in the Four of Swords because we go into this quiet state. It is a quiet repose, if that's the right word. A lot of information comes to us in this quiet space. And a sort of recognition of, in the Five of Discs, if you're looking at other readings, you'll see that five coming up a lot, is an archetype that we all have as humans, is the victim. We don't always want to operate from that point because what comes along with that is that if we do not recognize it, we tend to project that onto others as well. It impacts all our relationships. It's all such a complicated business, isn't it, being alive? But we do the best we can, Scorpio. And so we've got this wonderful newness, experimental energy with the Page of Wands. We're just looking at, we've got that on the bottom of the deck. Let's look at the page. The Prince. Yep. Excuse me, Prince of Wands. Here. And it's not always we get a chance to kind of recognize and understand and release, whether that's in a ritualistic manner. I mean, making, an occasion out of it, or gathering people to, it's ritual is I guess limited in our lives these days, as less people, I guess, go to church or whatever, of course there are a lot of Wiccans and people that have their thing, but ritual, we mark a release of something or a honouring of something within the space of ritual, is what I'm getting here. Now, Knight of Wands, we have to clarify the Prince. We're upping a level here. We are bringing out this, what's the next one, is the King of Wands. So we're moving up this, I kind of see, maybe for some Scorpios, finding that real, really lightening, what am I trying to say? The lightness aspect of your fiery element, the charismatic aspects, the playful, experimental aspects, is something that you're in the process of discovering, and how you can work with that. And whether this is about intentions that were put into play a couple of weeks ago or a month ago, whatever it happens to be, we're course correcting, we're kind of going with this. It's quite interesting, Scorpio. Anyway, let's see, we've got Brian Frau, just a few. Shape-shifting energy is a wonderful thing to understand. There are good aspects of that energy. It means that one is flexible, that external free radical kind of stuff that's buzzing on around us doesn't necessarily impact us, because that's the whole point. This is shape-shifting energy. This is also the poke. This is not about insincerity. It's about working within yourself, working in relation to when there's nothing that you have control over in that external world. You only have control over how you're reacting, or yourself. This is where the shapeshifter is a very useful, productive and protective mechanism. So there are always good aspects and not so good aspects. I do think you're discovering this within yourself, how to use that, how to use it. And we need a level of wisdom to be able to use it wisely. We have the bodacious bodak. This is like a little Scottish, they call brownie. It's there to assist. It can be sometimes not so helpful, a little bit naughty. So we always like to be aware of that, But all in all, it's a pretty interesting reading for you, Scorpio. There's some great understanding and insight in here. And then Kim Crans, we have the beautiful crow. We know the crow, we know. A very intelligent bird holding that on top of the world here, it seems. We also have the cheetah. It's the thing that I get from this is like speed of quickness and speed of the mind within the air, within air, but also on foot, on land, earth time, air time, Scorpio. Well, on that note, I hope you enjoyed that. There's some wonderful new insights for some of you Scorpios that you're having and you're working with it. So on that note, thanks for joining me. Take good care. Check out any other readings that stand out for you, and I do appreciate all your likes and watching and comments and all of that. Ka kite, bye.